Welcome to the Milo Sweet Podcast, where you learn to achieve more with less by being resourceful and watch me occasionally get off topic. Let's get into the show.
Can you afford your first home? So right now, if you look at everything, it's kind of crazy. And the idea, if you are looking to buy your first home wherever you are, might feel like it's floating away. And I would say, don't lose hope just yet. Okay, so I foresee in the future a window where home affordability will increase. What I mean by this, so first off, I'm licensed only in Oregon, and if I speak of anything that's outside of Oregon, it's simply informational. Any information that I share does not mean I am your agent, okay? This is just for educational purposes, and you still need to find an agent and do your research yourself because everyone has experiences that might differ. So this is more of a catalyst for you to think of home ownership, get yourself together, and move forward. So the first thing I would like to say is cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. If there's any way that you can increase your cash flow, it could be as simple as like, hey, I am going to sell jam on the side, or I'm going to do something on Fiverr, Fiverr, as an independent contractor. Maybe you'll do some Instacart. I really don't know, but increasing your cash flow increases your ability to still look for a home. So that's number one. So what ways can you bring in some extra money? And even if it doesn't actually count as income right away, because they usually need the mortgage or mortgage broker or lender, the person that will be giving you a loan to get a house, they're going to need a little bit longer history, but the extra cash flow makes it easier to take the leap and, to still kind of have some of maybe the luxuries you have now in your life. So is home affordability going to change in the future? I believe so. And this is partially based on data, partially based on a hunch, and it's just also based on history. So the first thing I would say is cash flow. Second, I would talk to a couple lenders locally to find out what you would need to qualify for a home in your area. I think that's important because maybe while you're waiting, you can work on your credit. You can work on paying down some of your consumer debt. You can work on getting out of consumer debt and never going back into consumer debt. You can also work on, like I said, cash flow, another stream of income. You can work on, beefing up your down payment. So that's part. You can also work on understanding your neighborhood and your options, right? So that's part of it. What I foresee happening as far as home affordability is that interest rates are pretty high right now, considered what they were in, I want to say 2020. And so, home prices are on the higher end now. In the last month, I would like to say, or the last 45 days, home prices have dropped. You've seen more price reductions as far as homes listed. A price reduction means that, let's say the home was listed for $500,000 when it first went on the market, which is for sale, and then they removed that price and reduced it to maybe $475,000 because at $500,000 they were not getting the interest that they would like, or the type of offers, or they didn't get any offers. So they reduced the price, and there's benefits to that. One, it gets more interest from more buyers because some people that might only be looking at homes for $475,000 and below, now that home is on their radar. It also maybe sets realistic expectations for the seller, and kind of, a price reduction kind of puts the home kind of in a way on the RMLS, makes it look new if you're searching. Whenever I saw a price reduction, I thought, oh, this is new because I didn't see it before. From the perspective of a buyer. So in 2019, home prices the median home price nationally was $275 and mortgage rates was $404, which meant that your mortgage payment was roughly about $1,054, and that's without That's without taxes and HOA or homeowners insurance. And so that would probably make your mortgage payment a little bit higher. That depends on, taxes and where you're at. And so now in 2022 for April, we've gone up about $120,000. So the median home price is $397 and some change, and the interest rate is 505, which means that the monthly mortgage payment without taxes, insurance, or HOA is $1,700. So as you see, it's gone up about $700 a month. And the median family's income, it's only gone up $9,000 in that 3-year time span. And so affordability has gone down. So it used to be a lot higher as far as the amount of people that could afford. If you're looking at the Northwest, if you're looking at the Northeast, home price is about $418, Midwest $284, South $361, and the West is $525. That really sounds about right. And so the mortgage payment right now can range anywhere from $1,800 to $2,200, which when you think about it, it's kind of a lot. That's a huge amount when you were looking at, for the same amount a couple years ago, $1,054. So here's what I think what I think will happen. I think home prices will settle and they'll go down a bit, which in theory would allow mortgage interest rates to go up a little bit more. And then I think at a certain point, it's not advantageous to have mortgage interest rates so high. I personally think that they'll come down. And right before home prices go up, so the mortgage interest rates are going to come down, and then home prices might go up a bit. But right before they go up is a great window to buy. When is that exactly? That's what I don't know. So could be later this year, could be early next year. I would say what's hard is that what is predicted from, the Federal Reserve has not been, and what they said that they would not do and do, they have not kept their word. So for instance, in 2020, they said that they would keep interest rates very low, historically low, when they were at around, I want to say 2%, like 2.5, 2.25. So they were historically low. And they said they would keep them that way until the end of 2023. Well, that has not happened. They've gone from 2% or 2.5, 2.25 to 5%. So they've not only not been low, but they've more than doubled. And as you can see, the home affordability went from $1,054 to $1,717. And that's like the median. Obviously, when you go to different areas, it's going to be a little bit more, it'll be different or precise. So that hasn't, the Federal Reserve is the entity or organization, I'm not really sure the exact wording for them, where they're the ones raising the interest rates. And so they also denied last year that we were in inflation and in hyperinflation. They said, no, everything's good. We're keeping interest rates low. That has changed. And now they're saying, well, we have to raise them. So if they have to raise them, then it's possible, and that's going to continue to happen. I think that is happening for the next quarter. Then eventually what comes up must come down. When? I don't know. Because the timeline, I was like, well, you know what? Maybe they're actually going to keep their word on that and keep them low until 2023. So that is not happening. Eventually, if interest rates continue to go up, mortgage interest rates, and then home prices continue to go up, home affordability really goes down and it becomes a complete standstill. And I really don't think that would be advantageous for our economy. So I believe at some point, home prices will go down a bit. That helps affordability, meaning higher interest rate, lower home price. You can kind of get in the same mortgage range, right? But then eventually those mortgage rates are going to come down, and home prices, it takes a little bit of time for us to kind of get that energy in the housing market. So then there's going to be a moment where the home prices have not risen yet. So you'll get a lower home price with a lower mortgage rate. And that will be, to me, a great time to invest, a great time to buy your first home, great time to buy that rental property, and a great time to negotiate as well. I believe it's been a seller's world for a bit. So it's possible that some things might flip to be more advantageous for the buyer, more negotiating for the buyer. So perhaps more perks or, closing costs, the cost of the loan, of the transaction might be included. Like things like that could be advantageous for a buyer. So is your window to buy coming up? I think so. There's also possible that there may be grant or down payment assistance where it's able to help you make your down payment, or perhaps more 100% no money down loans, or just more options so that buyers can buy. That's the reality. Is I don't think they want a whole housing market to stop. So it's going to be solved some way. And I think keep your eyes open to figure out exactly where you want to be, what you would like to pay. Obviously, you might not be able to dictate price as much, but really keeping your eye open to that and noticing those trends. What is it looking like? So let's say the national average. So knowing your options, keeping an eye open, I think will help you see the right window. And I'll keep doing updates as I find more things, because there's some things that I'm looking for in this real estate market that I would like to take advantage of. And I think also just trying to look for cash flow options could be really helpful. They really help you give the confidence, or they really help to give confidence that you can make these leaps and jumps. And also talking to a lender to know your options. If you're looking to buy a rental, if you're looking to get your first home, I think educating yourself and kind of talk to more than one lender. I learn a lot from just talking to different people and seeing how their loans work. It's really helpful. That is all. I wish you well on your search.
All right, that's another episode in the books. Hello? I said it's over. Why are you still listening? Like, seriously, the episode is over. If you're still listening right now, you know what? You're probably a chronic procrastinator. Guess what? I'm still listening to you. Come on, for real, seriously. We gotta go do something productive. No, like for real. No, for real. Okay, you can keep listening.